Hello, so this is my experience. This week going over my experience trying to make an AI video. So originally, for my background, my original plan was to try converting this old animation I made during middle school to a more colored version with AI because I thought AI should just be able to color stuff and I won't have to like color the individual frames because I was too lazy to. And I wanted to see if AI could do that. So let me just show you the video right now for the opening. You can see the bird, the person tries taking the hand, bird bites him, and bird runs towards you and attacks you. Yep, that's a very low quality animation. It was run around 4 to 6 frames. For some of the frames, I took reference art from online. Yeah, it's not the best, but that's my animation. Yeah, and then I looked at how, like, I'm not going to show the rest of the video because, like, this is mostly about my experience making it, but this was one of the inspirations for me to actually, like, see what AI could do. So from this, I saw AI could make an entire commercial without any human interference, so I know for certain that AI should be able to color my animation. So then I looked at some online tutorials and resources, and then I discovered how I could use Clipchamp to make an AI-generated video. It can make an AI-generated video, but the video makes is a slideshow. I made a video about like ChatGPT with the AI-generated script and ran it through this AI software, which is called Steve.ai, and it's good for making slideshows, but like, it's not what I wanted. I wanted to just color my original vision and make a bird animation. It did not work. Yeah, I'm just going to show an example in my video. You can see the voices was not created by the Steve.ai. I used another software for the voice. Okay, let me just show the other tools I used. Yeah, the quality is not great. So for the previous video I made about ChatGPT, I used a software called Writer, which is able to generate an AI script from using different features. You could choose the tone, you could choose the language, and you could choose like a prompt what you want to write. I just chose ChatGPT because I was doing an AI test animation. The test animation I made with Steve.ai also was an animation, but definitely not the animation I desired. You can see over here that I used Clipchamp in order to create my video. I used the ability, there's a video ability over here where you could go to audio and create an AI generated voice. I just copy and pasted the Writer audio into it because the Steve.ai audio is even worse than the current version's audio. Regarding all this stuff about the Steve.ai solution, which was just making a slideshow, if you want to know, I could just I'll give a link to how to do that type of animation in the description. So I went and searched for another solution. I went to the standard CGI YouTube channel, the Corridor Crew, which I was a fan of. And then I just looked for Stable Diffusion for this. They use Stable Diffusion in order to like create an animated video from real footage. So I looked into how they turn like something that was real life into anime, and I found that super cool. Like I was like, this might be better than the bird solution, like turning a bird animation into a cartoon. That looks a lot cooler. Well, I tried following their tutorial. My computer is not strong enough to handle that. Running Stable Diffusion on your own computer, well, you better have a computer that's on the same level as a YouTuber. Yeah. To give more context about how long I spent actually trying to make an AI-generated video, I spent about a month. Most of that month was spent doing school, but it still did take a month. So I was pretty disheartened by trying to do Stable Diffusion, trying to do Steve.ai. So I looked at the original video of Pizza, and I was like, let me look at these tools. So GPT-4, free. Midjourney, costs money. Runway, free. Kind of free. SoundDraw, good music, don't want to spend money. Adobe After Effects, no, I'm using something free. To give more context about how long I spent actually trying to make an AI-generated video, I spent about a month. Most of that month was spent doing school, but it still did take a month. So I was pretty disheartened by trying to do Stable Diffusion, trying to do Steve.ai. So I looked at the original video of Pizza, and I was like, let me look at these tools. So GPT-4, free. Midjourney, costs money. Runway, free. Kind of free. SoundDraw, good music, don't want to spend money. Adobe After Effects, no. I'm using something free. So none of these options except for Runway were kind of usable for me. So I looked into Runway. So yeah, Runway was so confusing. So many new tools: video to video, text to video, remove background, text to image, image to image, and stuff. I was like thinking, could I technically do text to image and do that multiple times to make an animation? I could have done that, but I didn't want to do that. So I looked over to converting my original video into a new video with video to video and writing a prompt. Let me just show you some of the bloopers I had with converting that original bird attack animation into through Runway. You can see over here, the first one that I found the most funny when I just said give color, I got this. This doesn't even remotely look like a bird. As you can see, there's other amorphous blobs that happened. Most of my failures ended up removing the bird on Runway, as seen with the city skyline when I tried doing sci-fi bird, and this one, which turned a bird into like a bunch of people when I tried using Runway's set templates for a cartoony. So the templates did not work. So whenever I use the templates, the bird just disappears. Whenever I try doing a custom prompt, some weird random thing randomly appeared. I was so confused. So I was like thinking, I looked at some videos online of how like people prompted the videos, and I looked at how they tweaked the settings. I was doing the exact same thing. So what's the difference? Why is my animation turning whack like this? As you can see in my presentation over here, this was not working, clearly. So I was thinking maybe a real bird might satisfy the requirements. So I got my pet bird, started doing footage of the bird, walking around, and doing other things, so I could run it through Runway. After many attempts after I got the real image of a bird, the results, while they were off and did not look like birds sometimes, or the filter did not work, did have something that was better than before. Unlike the video to video from before of a cartoon bird trying to be adding color to it, these results were consistent. So like if I put in a prompt, the same result came out the next time. So all I had to do was tweak the settings for how much it kept the style and doing like prompts. Like, let me show an example of how like I prompted it. So I'll just give it time for it to load. So the presets, they don't work. They don't work. You're going to end up with something that doesn't look like a bird. So let me show you the image, original image, bird. Let's see what bird does. The bird walks on the side and then just stares out into nothingness, okay? Well, the cracker is now a treasure chest. And then I click, and then I go to like the advanced settings. So weight means like matching style rather than import video. You want this to be a little lower on the lower size. I recommend around like a 6 or like 7.5 at max, because the weight could cause, you need some weight so that it looks animated, but you don't want too much weight where like it overrides the original image and the bird just disappears and turns into some treasure chest or something. Structural consistency, I recommend it to be like 0. Like you don't want anything. For my case, I'm just converting a bird image video. I already have the story laid out. I already had the bird move in the way I wanted it. So in my case, structural consistency very low, but I want frame consistency to be super high because I want the bird animation to be super smooth. And then I just click generate video. Well, Runway has a free trial and you can only use a certain amount of credits. I ran out of credits, so I can't really generate a video right now. But the reason why I had a ton of mixed matched videos was because Runway has a problem. It only lets you use animations videos for a few second clips. So I wouldn't, after my experience using Runway, I wouldn't recommend it using it over traditional Blender or like 3D animation. Well, there might be a solution around that. I haven't tried it out yet. So it's this page. There's Pointy, which could allow you to use a text prompt to make a 3D animation model. So after I do a 3D model, I could just use a rig and then I can maybe try animating it. I'm not that experienced with 3D animation, so for the more experienced people, you could probably tell me if Pointy actually works for animation. But I was too lazy to do it, or not too lazy. I already got a good enough product done. You can see the first bird animation was the product of that. I had a lot more bloopers that I did not want to show because they weren't birds and they were just the same thing but different styles. One of them was like gothic. One of them was like bird had gone, bird exploded into pieces, and etc. That's my experience going over like the animation process for making an animated video. The conclusion is there's a lot of ways to make animated videos if it's related to CGI. There's Wonderworks, which I found out, but it requires like you to apply. And there's other tools for CGI, and there's tools for text to video, but they're not really super long, so you can't really use them to craft actual stories. So if you actually wanted to, like, with low experience, to make an actual like coherent story with AI, I recommend the CGI route. Clipchamp, Steve.ai and other software like that can only make slideshows. There's like AI editing software too, like I mentioned before, like Clipchamp. I don't like using that because I just don't. This video will probably have a lower editing quality, or since I'm a novice, and because I need to make the weekly upload. Next video might be something else random, or talking about a random experience of me like finding a bug that took me a week to solve, or maybe I could talk about an experience where I tried applying to multiple community colleges. But mostly for this content, it will be mostly about like more animation to more programming. I'm gonna probably try talking about how to use a Chromebook for coding next time, maybe.